We have no control of how it's going to be, if it's ever going to be the same, when it's going to be back to any kind of normal. And we have to let that go and embrace this new way. Alrighty, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of It Takes Grit. You have just got me here today. Last week was absolutely unbelievable. If you have not already listened to the episode with an Olympic medalist, pretty epic, that we had on the show. And I just want to recap about 2020. I'm going to just dive in a little bit about the year that we've had. We're going to talk about our challenge that we have going on right now. And then also just a few tips on how to keep calm over these holidays, because normally holidays can be a little bit stressful, and this year it can be a little bit more stressful, a little bit more anxious, a little bit more anxiety, a little bit more uncertainty. To be honest, right now, and I'm filming this at the beginning of December 2020, and this is going to be coming out the first week of December, I don't even know where I'm going to be spending Christmas Day. I have no idea. I was just texting with my mum this morning, and my parents are in England and I'm in the USA, and they are desperate, absolutely desperate. My mum is just desperate. She's ready to jump on a plane. She wants to come here. She retires on the 18th of December. So one of the things I've been working hard so much on the last couple of years is my dream was always to retire my parents. And now it's happening. Now they're retired and I can't even get them here because of COVID regulations. So currently right now, the UK cannot fly into the USA. They can't fly directly. We've just had a family friend who has a son in the USA, and his parents have flown to Antigua or St. Lucia, and they spent 15 days in quarantine, and then they were able to get in. So I don't know what your rules and regulations are. I know that we have got people that listen to this podcast all over the world, and this is what is currently happening right now. And my mum is desperate. She's like, let's just book the flight. But we can't even book the flight right now because we're still 3 weeks out, and we don't know what's going to happen in 3 weeks. Who knows? They might open up that whole, travel. So from the UK to the US, Antigua, St. Lucia might then be closed. And so even though I understand that once they get that flight booked, we can't even organize that right now. So if you're in a similar situation, you're wanting to see your family this Christmas, I understand. My heart is with you. I haven't seen my mom or dad in a year. I think the last time I saw my dad was in February when he came to South Africa with me. And the last time I saw my mom was at Christmas. And my mom hasn't seen her 2 children for almost a year. So typically they would come out twice a year during the middle of the year, not including Christmas, to America, once to Los Angeles to see me and once to see my brother James in North Carolina. So right now, our whole family has no idea what's going on. The chances are that they won't be able to get here for Christmas because that 18th to, if they have to do 15 days in quarantine, they don't know. Then my brother and, his fiance, they're going to go to South Carolina, I believe, or North Carolina with her family. And, do I go over there? I've already looked into taking both of the dogs on an aeroplane. Guys, do you know if you want to take 2 dogs on an aeroplane, the only one that you can do it with, I'm giving you loads of tips right now, is United Airlines, but you have to buy an extra seat. But my thought of traveling with Alfie and Penny, yes, in their little bags to North Carolina, which is a good 5-hour flight, especially there's always going to be a layover like most places, unless you go out of LA. It just sounds like a nightmare. And I don't know if Corey would come over because he has work. And then I don't know if I would spend time with his family at Christmas. And I don't even know what's happening there. So if you have some uncertainty in your life, I hear you, right? And it's okay. But what we can be certain of is knowing that every day we're going to show up being the best version of myself, of ourselves. And look, wherever I wake up on Christmas Day is where I wake up on Christmas Day. Whether I'm here by myself, whether I'm in California, whether I'm in North Carolina, whether I'm in England, I don't even know. But what I do know is that I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have the best day ever wherever I'm at. So if you have some uncertainty right now about you don't know if you can travel, you don't know if you can see this family, I get it. It's hard. It's tough. However, we have 2 ways to think about how we want to react to that. We can either say, oh my goodness, this is going to be so terrible. I can't get here. I can't see my family. Yeah, it is terrible. It's not great. But what can we make great about that day? And if we can focus on those positive things, we can feel a little bit lighter, we can feel a little bit happier, we can feel a little bit less stressed because we're so worried about what could not happen, right? That's what we focus on. So I understand if you've got things going on in your life right now that are uncertain. I have that too. We're all in this position together where the world is just this weird place right now and we're not sure where we're going next. But what we do know is that every day we can wake up with passion, purpose, gratitude, and just be the best version of ourselves for that day. We can celebrate Christmas another time. We can go on a family vacation another time. Don't want to make it that it's so much pressure for the family to have to see each other on Christmas. We can change the days of Christmas, right? We can create a new holiday in January. We can create a new holiday in February, whatever it is, right? And so just try and change your mindset and not being disappointed, but looking forward to the future and the vision of what's going to happen. So I first of all just wanted to touch on that. If you're going through anything that's kind of stressful about if you can and can't see your family members, I feel for you and I'm here. So how can we keep calm over the holidays, right? With all of this different noise going on. Stop listening to the news, all right? Maybe just a little bit here and there so you know what your rules and regulations are for your state or for your country or where you're supposed to be, if you're supposed to be inside or outside. But if you consume yourself all day with the news on, honestly, I've never have news on in my house. The only news that I ever see is on my phone when I swipe across and Apple gives me some news stories of the day, and there's about 4 of them, and I might just read the title. But apart from that, I see what we're supposed to do, right? I know where we're at. Right now, we can't travel, okay? Right now, I can't leave the country. So how can you keep calm? It's by just keep bringing in positive and beautiful vibes into yourself rather than listening to this crazy stuff on the news. And if you're living in America, and I'm going to say this, but the rest of the world doesn't have news like America. It doesn't have TV stations that are dedicated to literally making things look 10 times worse with flashing lights and colors. Like you listen to the BBC News and it's very just chit-chatty and it's like, oh, look, this is what we've got today. We've had a couple of extra cases of COVID, right? But you get to America and it's like, oh my goodness, all this is, bro. It's like they just like make it seem so intense. And I'm not saying it's not intense, but they use certain language and music and flashing lights to get you hooked on it so that you keep on watching. If you want to watch a great documentary, watch The Social Dilemma. Really, really emphasizing the social dilemma is such an important Netflix documentary to watch. And that reminded me of something else, of another podcast episode that I want to talk to you guys about, and it's about finance. I don't know why that popped in my head, but I'm going to do finance for next week. Watch that episode, listen to that episode. I am going to completely change your life when it comes to finance. Okay, so going back to how can we keep calm over the holidays? And it's going to be basic. You guys know how to keep calm. If I told you what are the things that you can do to keep yourself calm, it's working out, it's doing our meditation sessions, it's eating healthy, it's being surrounded by positive people. And I'm going to lead into our 31-day holiday challenge that we've got going on. Do something that's powerful, that's positive. There's loads of journaling in there as well. So it really helps you feel connected to something, helps you feel connected to being part of something that is bigger than yourself. So couple of things to keep calm over the holidays, right? Take time for you. Now, if that means waking up earlier, that's what it's going to do. And I have completely changed my routine in the last 3 weeks. And I did this routine maybe a year, 2 years ago, and I was doing a really good job at it. And then I kind of slipped off and things changed. And I've been getting up and I've been working out every day at 6 a.m. because by 7:15 a.m., I'm in my shower. I'm having my cold shower and I do it every single day. I'm down in this routine right now. And look, I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm going to say that it's going to keep on going because I feel so good. I feel so good. I feel strong right now. My body's in great shape, but it's because I'm being disciplined. And what I'm doing right now is I'm remembering how I feel once I've got up and gone and worked out in the morning and then I'm in the shower. So when my alarm goes off at 5:20, 5:25, I immediately start thinking, and it's taken a while for me to do this. It doesn't just happen automatically. It's about discipline. I start thinking how great I'm going to feel once I've done my workout and I'm in the shower. Because the alternative is that I fall back to sleep for 2 hours, I wake up at 7:20, and I haven't done the workout and I'm not in the shower. How am I going to feel? Now, obviously, there's days where I'm not up at 6 a.m. Most of the time, I would say right now I'm averaging 5 or 6 times a week where I'm up at 6, I'm in the room at 6 a.m. to do the workout. But I remember that thought. And it also reminds me of how I feel when I'm drinking alcohol. It's in that moment you feel like that excitement, that happiness. It's giving you something that makes you feel a certain way. But it's temporary. And the other effects of drinking alcohol, waking up the next day, don't make you feel amazing. So I keep remembering, what's the thing that makes me feel the most amazing? What's the thing that makes me feel so fulfilled and accomplished and like just proud of myself and strong? And it is getting up early. There's something about getting up before the sun comes up that just gives you an inside power. It's working out. It's then I'm in my shower. I'm done for the day. And by 7:30, I'm down here. I'm writing in my journal. I'm having my tea. I'm doing all of my, planning for the day. And then by 8 o'clock, I'm like ready to go. And I've done all the self-care stuff. So if you're like, I need to spend more time on me, it needs to be done in a time where it's not overflowing of those other things that you have in your life, right? So make the space and the time for self-care, but don't let it take it away from the goals that you have, the family that you have, the relationships that you have, the children that you have. You just might have to reorganize your day slightly and get up 10 minutes earlier, go to bed 10 minutes, before, so that you can really utilize that morning routine. And so that's one thing that's been really helping me. And I hope that's a tip for you guys, is to really think about how will I feel afterwards? And I always keep like going back to that motion in my head, or that thought process. Like, how will I feel? How's it going to make me feel when I've crushed my workout, when I'm in the shower? Like, I'm going to feel amazing. I'm going to feel strong and feel proud of myself. I'm going to feel like I've set up the day right. And then it's done. It's out the way and I don't have to worry about it. I'm not going, oh my goodness, like when I'm going to get my workout in, the day gets like, the day loses you. The day like gets away from you. You're like, oh, and this happens and this comes up. And I've got to fix this and this has got, you're putting out fires all day long. So for me, I like to do that in the morning and get myself sorted. Okay. So a couple of things are how to keep yourself calm over the holidays: eating healthy, doing your workouts, joining in with our meditation. If you have not updated the app, you have to do that immediately after you listen to this podcast, because you are now going to be able to listen to the podcast in the BTES app. And there are exclusive mindset programs, there's exclusive meditation videos, and there are podcasts, and there's a journaling section coming as well. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Every single month, I'm going to be adding new parts to the mindset section of the app. So now you've got your fitness, you've got your nutrition, and you've got the mindset section as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. It's available on desktop, Android, and iOS. So update all your things and it will be right there. And you're going to get more points for doing things. You're going to get points for also sharing and completing those mindset videos too. So congratulations. Okay, so recap. I wanted to just have this video as this episode of bit of a, I guess it's a mishmash of everything. It's, the 31-day challenge that we have going on, things that's happening over the holidays, recapping of 2020, and setting ourselves up for 2021. And I wanted to do it at this time of the year because this is where we're starting to feel like, oh my goodness, we might have another year of this COVID. We might have another year of not being able to see our family or being able to go to restaurants or just kind of live the life that we are used to before COVID happened, before 2020. So this is a little exercise for you as well. And just wanted to recap on the year. We started off January. We did an amazing trip to Ecuador. I was climbing mountains, and I really thought that this was the year that I was going to be, summiting the top of the world. I'd done all of this training to get there. And I know that there's things that you had got planned for this year that, some of you were getting married. Some of you have got special events and occasions coming up and things that you wanted to achieve. And you've had to change and you've had to adapt. And that's what really makes us grow. That's what really makes us morph into the people that we are. It's those people who adapt and change to what's happening in the world. are those people who have more creative ideas and more things that come to them and more personal growth. If you're still trying to be what life was like before COVID started, before March, right? If you're still trying to hold on to what life was like then, you need to let it go. So I don't know who out there needs to hear this message right now, but let it go. Let what it was like before March 2020 just go. Because we have no control of how it's going to be, if it's ever going to be the same, when it's going to be back to any kind of normal. And we have to let that go and embrace this new way. That's the only option that we have. If we want to be successful, if we want to create more purpose and more happiness, it's by going back, letting the things go that we were holding on to that job, holding on to that relationship, like holding on to, I can go out for dinner and oh my goodness, now I have to wear a mask. All of these things, right? I get to wear a mask. Like, I get to sit outside at the restaurant. I don't get to sit inside, right? I get to break free from this relationship. I get to start this new relationship. It's that language. So whatever has happened over this year, some of us are still holding on to a little bit of that tension, a little bit of that resentment, right? But resentment doesn't help you get anywhere. In fact, it just takes up more of your energy. So if you want to get more energy right now, let go of those expectations of what your 2020 was meant to be like and embrace what it actually is. Because there are so many amazing positive things that can come from this. You know, at the beginning of the year, I was going to be climbing Mount Everest and boom, it was going to be like amazing. I went to South Africa. I was filming workout videos in front of lions and tigers. And literally 2 weeks afterwards, we're in lockdown, where everything's changed. I'd sold my house. I'd sold a condo. Literally on the day that we went into lockdown, I was able to, I got out of my house. Like, it was just like all these things. And we all have these things happening. And I had that moment, and I shared this on the podcast before, that moment of like, oh my goodness, what am I supposed to do now? I don't even know. Like, what am I supposed to do? And it's interesting because we just have to learn how to adapt and embrace that. So I think I had 24 hours where I felt sorry for myself and, the Everest thing. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I'm so gutted. What am I supposed to do? And then it just changed and it shifted into, let's create more workout videos. Let's do lives. I'd never even done a live YouTube video before. Isn't that crazy? We'd done a couple of lives, maybe in the Facebook group, but we'd never done any lives on YouTube. So had this year not happened, we wouldn't have been exposed to that way, right? We wouldn't have been exposed to what's happening there. So it's really important to think about all of the great things that have happened from 2020. And if you're like, I don't have any great things, then that is a sign that you are holding on to the old way of life, and it's time to break free. It's time to break free of that. And look, this episode might be relevant in a month's time. It might be relevant in a year's time. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, right? But what we do know is that we can adapt and we can choose a new way of living. We can choose a new purpose in life. We can choose a new way that we want to do things, okay? And so that's what the most, I think valuable piece of information that we've learned from 2020 is how and who have adapted, right? Let it go. Let those things go that are not serving you anymore and that you're holding on to try and get the year back that you initially thought was supposed to be for you. But yet, you're not seeing all of the amazing things that are around you right now. And one of them is the 31-day holiday challenge. It is not too late to join right now, whether you're on the app or you are a free user. You can go and check out all of the calendars that we have for you. There's a beginner's calendar, there's a workout calendar, there's a BTS calendar, there's a live calendar, there's journaling, recipes, all the things. Just head on over to rebecca-louise.com and you can access that calendar. And every single month there is a new one as well. So you can just go on, grab that calendar, and boom, it's going to feel amazing to be part of something so special. So we're doing 12 days of giveaways, lives as well, which means that for 12 days from the 13th to the 24th of December, I'm going to be live every morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, to do a live workout with you. We're going to be doing giveaways that are going to cross promote over into the Instagram as well. So make sure that you just keep on showing up. All right. It's going to be super fun. Loads of little extra bits throughout as well. So just the best way to stay on track through this holiday period is to staying close to the fire. That's what I talk about. Our new logo on our workout apparel is all about staying close to that fire. Okay. So going into 2021, Where are we at? Where are our feelings at? Are we ready to surrender and embrace everything that's going to happen to us in 2021? Because there's so many times where we can feel like the world is coming down on us, it's closing down on us, it's against us, right? But they're all just trials and tribulations and challenges that are put in front of us for us to be able to grow and rise to the next level. So whatever it is that you need to do to help you get to where you want to be, that's your action step. Now, you guys know that we have the Inner Transformation Program that we do 3-4 times a year. We're going to start it again in January. It's an amazing course that you get to dive deep into what you are looking for, how to set your goals, crush them, and just experience it with an amazing community. You do it in your own time, right? You do it just at your own pace, but we're going to do it over that 4 weeks, and you just do as much as you can. So you can go to rebecca-louise-coaching.com and get all the information for that right there. And we're going to have a special discount up until it actually gets started. So make sure that you save on that by acting early. Remember, if you act early, you take action, you get rewarded. And then I'm going to do another episode a little bit closer to 2021, just about what it is that we can set the intention for going into our new year, what that looks like for us, where we're at with COVID, where we're at with this pandemic, where we're all at with our lockdowns. But right now, let's just be present in the moment. Let's be present in December. Let's honor every single day that we get to spend on this earth. And if it doesn't line up how you thought it would be, don't be attached to how you think it should be. Be attached to what it was, to what it is, to that day that you wake up and you're like, you know what? Amazing. This is the day that I've been given, and I'm going to make the absolute most of it. So this is just my message for you guys this holiday season. I hope that some of the thoughts and processes that I've tried to articulate in my brain to you guys are helpful. I want you to know that you're not alone this holiday season if you feel like you're alone. I was even thinking today when I was doing my workout, I was like, what if I don't spend, Christmas Day at Corey's family, but like I don't get on an airplane and go to North Carolina to visit my brother? Like, would I be okay just waking up on Christmas morning and having a Christmas day by myself? Like, I'm like, okay, like I have many days by myself just because it's like the 25th of December, like you're supposed to be with family, you're supposed to do all of this stuff. Like there is no supposed to. So don't feel bad if you're on your own over Christmas, or, you don't have that many people around you, or you can't see some certain family members. Like, it's okay. Some people might enjoy just a nice day off by themselves. So if we look too much into, how things should be and a certain way that they must articulate and they must happen, we get so sucked into those expectations never being met. And Tony Robbins always says, trade expectations for appreciations. What are the things that you can appreciate about your day today? What are the things that you can appreciate about Christmas Day, whatever that might look like, or whatever day that you celebrate? If you guys don't celebrate Christmas, no problem. What are the days that are important to you that maybe aren't going to be the same this year as they were last year? Maybe it's going to be even different than in 2021. Like, we don't know. But what we can do is turn up with gratitude and be okay with where we're at in the moment. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode and that you share it with your friends and family. Just help them feel a little bit more connected. If you know that somebody's going to be alone this time of year, please share it with them. Please send it. I'm just highlighting the fact that we're all in this community together. And even if you are by yourself, we have an amazing live schedule, all the things that's going to help you feel connected. So love you guys so much. Enjoy the holidays. Treat yourself. Don't go crazy because we've got 2021 that's just around the corner. So if you stay on track now, it's going to be easier in January because you're not going to have to start again to get started. Eat the treats, do your workout, do your cold showers, do your meditating, and just give love to yourself and your family. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mwah.
I remember people talking about that being important, like, oh, did you win? And thankfully, I think to my credit, to my parents' credit, like they didn't push that on me. They weren't like,